You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. And now for a look at news making international headlines this Friday, 21st January.
A bomb blast has ripped through a crowded market in eastern Pakistan on Thursday, January 20, killing 3 people and wounding almost 30. A police spokesman, Arif Rana, has recalled it was a bomb. Time device rigged to a motorcycle exploded outside the shop in the market. A 9-year-old boy is among the 3 dead, he has confirmed. A resident who was witness the explosion has said he was around 12 feet or so away from the place, but the blast was so severe that people didn't know what had happened. Then, the fronts of some shop caught fire, and a couple of the shop assistants were injured. A man in the house died. A child was passing by. Both his legs were blown off. He also said he rushed to pick him up, but he was dead. It was a very severe blast. A newly formed separatist group based in southwestern Baluchistan province has claimed responsibility of the blast. It has said a bank was the original target of the attack. Police has said they were investigating, saying it was premature to link this to Pakistan Super League. 20 cricket tournaments are scheduled to start in a week or so. Baloch separatists have been fighting a low-key insurgency against the Pakistani government to demand a greater share in the local mineral-rich resources. They usually attack government interests or Chinese projects in the province bordering Afghanistan and Iran, but an attack in a city like Lahore is rare. China is involved in the development of the Gwadar port in the Arabian Sea and other projects in the province as part of a 60 billion China-Pakistan economic corridor, which is itself part of Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative.
Hong Kong health worker on Wednesday, January 19, in personal protective suit, went into pet shop to carry out a mass kill of hamster over COVID-19 fears. After tracing a coronavirus outbreak into a worker in a Little Boss pet shop, where 11 hamsters subsequently tested positive for COVID-19. Scientists around the world and Hong Kong Health Veterinary Authority have said there was no evidence that animal plays a major role in human contagion with the coronavirus, but having pursued a policy of zero tolerance for COVID-19, Health Secretary Sophia Chan has announced on Tuesday, January 18, she could not rule out any transmission possibility, and therefore the government could take no chances. Some 150 of the pet shop customers were also sent into quarantine, one resident says. It's not like every small animal is going to be infected, right? And they all have their own life. They should not be killed just like this. So I think it is really brutal and sad. Aside from ordering the kill, authorities have asked dozens of pet shops to close, while import and sale of small mammals were suspended. Buyers of hamster after December 22, 2021 were asked to hand them to authority for culling and not leave to them on street. A Hong Kong-based animal health expert has announced on Wednesday, January 19, that COVID transmission from pet to human in homes doesn't happen. After a hamster from a pet shop in the city tested positive for the coronavirus, Professor Vanessa Bars said the culling of animals from warehouses and pet shops after an outbreak was a sensible public health protection measure, but that the fear of infection in homes was overblown. A volunteer says the government should not have made a hasty decision to kill all the hamsters and create panic in the public. Hamsters at home are in cage 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. If there is a virus infection, it is being transmitted by humans, not by the hamsters. So hamsters at home are very safe and they do not need to be sent here because people are worried that the hamster will endanger the safety of their families. About a dozen Hong Kong hamster lovers flocked into the entrance of a government facility on Thursday, January 20, with the aim of saving as many of the rodents as possible from a government mascot order laid down over COVID-19 fears. The hamsters are innocent. They cannot be sentenced to death because of the virus, said Ching Li, 18, who is part of the loosely organized hamster rescue group from social media. On Thursday morning, about a dozen residents brought their hamster to the New Territory South Animal Management Center in Sha Tin for culling, but volunteers intercepted most of them in an effort to take them in for safekeeping instead.
Waterfall in the Canadian port cities of Hamilton froze over as extreme weather hit the countries and eastern part of the U.S., leading to heavy snow, traffic jams, and flight cancellations. A footage shows Tiffany Falls and Sherman Falls in the province of Ontario had turned to ice. Traffic was snailed in Toronto, Canada's largest city, on Monday, January 17, as the snowstorm brought visibility to near zero, short subway lines, and left motorists stranded on local highways for hours. Buses were at a standstill, and passing pedestrians helped push cars up a street at the main commuters' road in central Toronto. The region was predicted to get up into 2 feet of snow, and an extreme weather warning was in effect. Authorities asked residents to stay off the roads. More than 4,200 flights in the United States were cancelled or delayed for a couple of days. According to FlightAware, nearly 90,000 homes and businesses between Georgia and Maine lack electricity, according to poweroutage.us.